Ian Park. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I went to Northwestern University, and I'm an offensive lineman for the Deers, and this is my third season in Japan playing in the X League.
My name is Rilwan Adeyemi. I go by Adi or Rilwan. I am from Santa Monica, California. I went to the University of San Diego, down in San Diego, and this is my ninth season, my 8th year in Japan. And I wear jersey number 40, and I play defensive back, cornerback for the Fujitsu Frontiers, the 5-time championship winning Fujitsu Frontiers. That's what I like to say. There's never any surprise in Japan. You know that if you go here, you're going to get exactly this, right? You know that if you get to the train station at this time, you're going to miss the train. In America, the train probably is going to be late. Yeah.
For me, as a larger human being, my first month, I still do it. 2 years later, I hit my head on the door and the train. I'm trying to exit the train. Hit my head a lot, so I gotta learn to duck and maneuver. And so unlike Adi, I grew up kind of in a smaller city, not a cultural hub. Pittsburgh is not very diverse compared to any California, New York, Miami, wherever. So for me, I was I had culture shock. My first time, just everything's different. Driving on the other side of the road, just the buildings, the sort of the flow of society. I was very wow, everybody lines up, they go, everyone kind of is on the same page, which is kind of very different. And everyone's very orderly and quiet in public. So yeah, I'd say the portion size of the food was a big one for me. So I have to be careful at restaurants. I have to really decide. I have to ask the server, is this a big portion here, or a small one, or can I get more? So I try to go to a lot of tabehodai places and things like that to maintain my weight. So when I first got here to Japan, I ate more so at restaurants because I didn't really have a kitchen. My kitchen was small, and the living spaces are a little bit smaller in Japan as I hit the head on the deal. But now that I've moved to a larger space, I'm cooking much more often. So how do you do it? I know you like to cook.
Yeah, I like to. I've always cooked, even when I lived in the dorms, because I take, as an athlete, I like to know what goes in my body, and usually if I go out to eat Japanese food, I know exactly where I'm going. Yeah, I probably cook 95% of my meals, and then the other 5% is sushi. So
yeah, I try to eat sushi once or twice a week. Yeah, so fish once or twice a week too. But another thing, the produce here is expensive, but it's also
next level.
Compared, it's so good. It'll be strawberry season, and I'll eat a strawberry. This is the best strawberry I've ever had in my life. Peach season. This is the greatest. Right now, it's peach season.
Next
a lot
level.
of peach. Best peach I ever had was in Japan.
Japanese nashi.
Yeah.
Oh God, that might be the best fruit in the world.
Yeah. Is it
an apple pear?
Yeah, that's my favorite. I grew up eating that. Koreans, the big ones. Yeah. So, but it was kind of challenging for me. I'd go. Usually in America, you can get everything, and it might not necessarily be organic, or you don't know how they grew it. But okay, that's a banana. It's going to be there 12 months out of the year. So it's kind of interesting how you have to adjust in Japan. I know this food is in season, so I can get this for a cheap price or things like that.
Funny, loud, entertaining.
A little crazy.
A little crazy.
High motor.
Passion. Fish market energy. What else? Loyal, hardworking. These are just some commonalities of Japanese football players.
Yeah. like you saw them out in the field today, some guys getting into it, a little passion.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say we're very close with each other. Our team is very close. We've had staff and players that have been playing, have been a part of the team for 10, 15 years in some cases. Just there's definitely a core. I feel like the Deers are. We've got camaraderie. We've got everyone's pretty close. So I'd say that's our.
I think the number one thing with our team is probably the family type. This is going to sound cliche, but the family type atmosphere. And what I mean by that specifically is the different personalities that you get within a family. And that in a family, everyone doesn't think the same. Everyone doesn't act the same. Everyone doesn't behave the same. And sometimes in Japanese culture, you're taught to think a certain way. You're taught to do things a certain way. But the one thing that whenever the guys get in this building, the one thing that you see is their real personality. The one thing that spending time in the weight room, training room, meeting room, shower room is that you get to see how they think a little bit. So you ask them about, what do you think about this? And the first thing they'll say is, well, this is the way Japanese people think. And I'm like, no. What do you think about it? And then they tell you how they think about it. Those are conversations that you don't have with someone that you just met. These are conversations that you have with time and sweat equity building. So understanding that, again, the family type atmosphere comes with different sets of personalities and being able to enjoy those personalities. Because some of our Japanese players are closer in mentality to Americans than most of our coaches know. So.
For us, I think I want to, as the X1 area team, we have to get to the championship. I think the past couple years, the X1 area has only existed for three seasons now. This is the third season. So, my goal and our team goal, from the start, from the first time I met Takano-san, we had to get to the X1 Super. So, how do we do that? Win every game. So, we need to win every game. I think we just gotta, be able to finish strong this year. I would love to play a game against this guy and the other strong teams in the X1 Super. So that's the only thing that's on my mind, and we need to play as a team and work together. So that's what it's going to take.
I think ever since I've been in Japan, there's a culture of winning with Fujitsu. I can count the number of games that I've lost in the fall on one hand. We've lost 4 games in 9 years, and so for us, it's getting back to a championship level. But more so, a return back to normalcy for Japanese football. Because last year we had the COVID year and all the games.
Season.
Yeah,
shortened season was tough.
Shortened season is tough. So I think if, to me, what success would look like for the X League and Fujitsu this year would be 1, to play a full season. 2, to maybe have fans in the stands. And 3, to have a successful championship run where ideally Fujitsu ends up champion. Because then things are back to normal in the X League. So it's
a good chance that's going to happen this year.
That's the goal. That's my goal for the season. Individual goals aside, it's win championships, right?
Thank you.
Enjoy the conversation. Sit and talk, right? Work.